Dr. Darnise. Thanks for joining for another episode. Today, we'll be talking about something really basic to the practice of magic and conjure and hoodoo, and that is cleansing and protection. Now, I know I've touched on on this idea before, but what I decided to do was to make some videos that are really clear on particular purpose so that the information doesn't kind of get lost inside of another video. So what I want to do is share with you some of the items that I use for cleansing or that you may want to include in your own practices for cleansing, protection of your space, where you live, maybe your workspace, if you're really practicing and doing some rituals and how you would clear your space. So today's episode is that cleansing and protection. So where should I start? I realized I decided to make this video because I got some new crystals and I was just about to take them out of the salt. So one of the things that's excellent for cleansing, well, cleansing and protection is salt. And, just regular salt, so it's not special salt, but this is sea salt. And salt has been used and valued for centuries as something that is a preservative, something that is good for cleansing. We have a practice of using Epsom salt, for example, to draw out impurities. If you soak in a tub of Epsom salt, then it will help alleviate muscle pains because it's drawing out toxins. So salt has been known, for thousands of years to be a good cleanser and good for protection. So what I have here is that I bought some crystals, as I said, recently, and I had them here in a bowl of salt. I was cleansing them. And now, today, I wanted to take them out of the salt because they've been in there for, well, more than 24 hours at this point. But so I just thought I would come on and just show. I'm just going to take these out now. Was there one more in there? Is that it? That's it. And so these are not necessarily protection stones. These are just the ones that I happen to buy. These are for psychic intuition, the enhancement of your intuition. I always like to have a lot of these. So I have these stones already, but I saw them and I wanted to have some more. So it's a moonstone, an amethyst, bloodstone. It's sort of a green-red stone. And what is this? Citrine. Although I must say this one is not quite so yellow. It's kind of brownish yellow, but anyway, that's what I got in the pack. So when you get new crystals, do take some time to cleanse them. You can also take them out into the moonlight. But this was just my ritual for cleansing, and I was going to take them out today, so I'm going to take them out of the salt. I'm not going to put them in water like, oh, how do we get the salt off? Just rub it off. It shouldn't really stick to it anyway, but you don't want to, I mean, a lot of stones can't get wet, or at least not doused by water, so you don't want to use water really. If you have some Florida water, you could spritz them, lightly, especially something like selenite. You don't want to put water. This is just the pack it came in. And also, you would use salt at your door, wherever you have your front door to your house. So this is my protection jar. I don't know if you can see that it's actually purple, because purple is my favorite color if you can't tell. But yeah, so in here is salt, some black stones. I also have another loose black stone here. This is a black tourmaline. I'm wearing black onyx here. So black is good for protection. And so in my jar that I keep at my door, my entryway to my home, I have salt and I have black stones. These are onyx in here. I also have some bay leaves. Bay leaves are good to keep in the corners of your home. They actually bring good luck and prosperity. So I thought I'd put that in my protection jar also. Protects your doorways. And also there's some sharp objects in here. So, in the case of, you might say, well, I need something extra in there for protection. So what I did was put some pens, like some straight pens, and also staples. I happen to have some staples, and so I put them as sharp objects in there. Again, for protection. something sharp and prickly. Also, I recommend a black candle. And a black candle is good to burn when you are, again, clearing space. Black absorbs energy, and so a black candle is good for that. You know, I made another video about my travel altar. I hope you saw that. If not, check out my travel altar video. But, you know, if you're in another environment, if you're traveling, and maybe the space feels a little funky to you, or maybe you want to do a ritual, and you would want to clear the space. So you could start with this candle, the black one, to absorb the negative energy. Let's just say even an environment where there's been a lot of tension, if people have been arguing, you know, like families argue, right? So you could absorb the negative energy with a black candle. And also, I just realized I got this one. I forgot I had this. Oh my gosh. Can you see this? I hope it's coming out. Essence of Fear. I know that sounds all kind of kitschy for Halloween. This is full. This is a full candle. I don't know how many ounces this is, but at Halloween, you can particularly find black candles. So if you really want some cute, you know, candles in a nice dish or something, check out like your 99-cent stores, your TJ Maxx, Marshall, those kind of places where you can really find black candles. And this one is really aromatic. I love this candle, and I remember that I had it last year also. Where's this from? Wix Apothecary. So if you happen to want to do a Google search, or Amazon, they have everything, right? So Wix Apothecary Essence of Fear is the name of it. Bewitchingly scented candle. So it is very richly scented, but again, a black candle for absorbing negativity and grounding. All of these things are good for grounding yourself too, grounding yourself. And you know, can't go wrong with your Palo Santo. This is my Palo Santo stick. It's charred because I've burned it. This is, you know, more what it looks like in its natural state. It's a sweet wood, which I've mentioned before about this, as opposed to using sage. This is a smudge stick, and this is sage and lavender, which I like the scent of mostly, and I've burned it before, but it's very strong. And sage will set off your smoke detector. So if you live in a space where you don't want smoke detectors going off, you know, even with your windows open, it's just a very strong scent and sets off a lot of smoke. Palo Santo is sweet, and it's very, I don't know, it doesn't smoke a lot at once. So once you light it, you can find like, oh, it's just a little bit of smoke, but it does the trick. And also, I've said about sage before that in some cases, white sage is endangered. You know, so we have to think about sustainability, but also in terms of spiritual purposes, um, sage can be so strong as to I don't want to say scare away, but repel even our good energy, our good spirits, or the ancestors who have come to be with us. But it's a bit strong, and so some people will say, you know, sage will send away even your good ghosts. So you may want to keep that in mind. Instead, use your Palo Santo. So that is it for my protection and cleansing video. I had all kind of props this time. So, you know, think about how you want your home to be, you know, your sanctuary, your place where you feel um, safe and protected. If you are doing some sort of practices, then you want to clear out a space before you start doing the practice. So, you know, you want to use some Florida water and spritz around the space as a room mist. If you're going to use a particular surface, a table or something, you can spritz your Florida water there. At the same time, you can have, you know, your Palo Santo burning. Then you can burn your black candle to absorb negativity. and offer some protection. You would have your black stones around and maybe hold them, carry them in your pockets, and yeah, have a jar, have your protection jar. Some people call them a witch jar because really you can have anything in here, of course. So some people call it a witch jar. And, just depends on what you want to put in a jar. All right, so that's it for this session. And once again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for subscribing. More and more people are coming. I really appreciate that. If you are appreciating the video, then do share, comment, click the notification bell after you subscribe. I really appreciate it. And that's it for now.